As you can tell from the title, this show rocked my world in more possible ways than one. I remember scrolling on the YouTubes and finding a series that looked jolly, looked super fun, and looked like a really nice anime. Wait. What are you doing? Stop that! Oh my god! I think I might actually be traumatized. Back in the old day of a time when I was a wee little lad, I scrolled on my computer for hours looking for Naruto AMVs, but that's when I came across When They Cry, and I haven't been the same since. That was 40 years ago. So when they announced it was coming back with updated graphics and all, I was like, hey, I thought I might as well watch this remake, and oh boy, was it a journey of unforgettable proportions. The crazy, the wacky, the fun, the joy, and the sad. This anime has it all, even a time skip and a very confusing plot, which was confusing at first, but then I found out this was a sequel. And then everything made much more sense. But I'm just kidding, I was still confused. This whole show was made out to be a remake, but in actuality, it was a sequel of a sequel that also has a sequel, and I thought there was just one When They Cry when I was like 5 years old. How the fuck is now there 40 that I gotta watch? So it was a big confusing mess before I found out it was a sequel, because a lot of people, including myself, thought it was a remake. So now when you see scenes like this, it makes a lot more sense. Also, it's a very big plot spoiler, I'll say. The reason I talked about the original is because it's the reason I even decided to watch this season series episodes. I thought with all this new animation tactics, this could be some of the most gory, bloody, and insane season to fucking date. But it did nothing but make me cry. And that might sound dramatic, but holy mother of God. This shit was ass, and I was beyond disappointed. I remember liking the original because how batshit crazy it was. Like, look at this shit, bro. Literally, look at it. Like, what the fuck is going on? And this one felt like it missed on the batshit crazy, like, completely. There was no insanity. There was literally none of even the iconic laughing that everybody knows the memes about. While some of the later episodes, it gets a bit wacky and kind of goes into the insanity, it never felt like it goes into the batshit crazy. Maybe because they wanted to tell a story about Rika and her losing and how it's mentally fucking her up. Going through each timeline, getting more and more mentally drained from dying, and watching all of her friends die over and over and over and over and over again, to Lord Orashiro's curse. This curse all started because she wanted to leave the village. She wanted to get away from everything and live a nice, happy life and enjoy school. But no. Fuck no. You can't have shit in this town, so now she's stuck endlessly looping over and over again. She's literally like Subaru. Until she finally understands that she doesn't want to leave and she just wants to stay here with her friends and go to a great school with her best friend. But with her now broken free, this allows her best friend to now be linked to this curse, so she's now looping, which is pretty fire. And she wants to now kill her best friend because she broke a promise for her, which is kind of crazy. One thing that kind of broke my enjoyment was this episode, because after the episode Rika broke the loop, she then tried to figure out who was in control of the looping, and boom, it's her best friend. But then the next episode makes zero sense because now they're outside. Like, literally watch these two episodes back to back. It makes zero sense whatsoever. I just paused the episode and died laughing because what the fuck did I actually just watch? Another thing that left me very disappointed was the lack of violence. I really liked the original because of how insane it was, and this one's just not as crazy at all. The most wild shit that happens is somebody gets their head cut off, and somebody gets their skull bashed in, and somebody gets their intestines literally ripped out with a hoe. Yes, a literal hoe. But it's not that crazy. And I know they all sound crazy, but they don't reach the first season in my opinion. They're not insane. Overall, most episodes disappoint me on the violent aspect. Maybe it was a Crunchyroll thing, or maybe it was actually just like that, but it was a massively disappointing in that area, considering what the series is really known for. And like I said, I felt like this was a more story-focused season. It might be because when I watched the first one, I had hardly any reading comprehension. I still don't, but to be honest, that's what makes these videos really fun. One thing the show does have is fun. The amount of stupid shit in this show that just makes you laugh is insane. Like, Mia locks up one of our main characters behind bars and goes and fights the cops solo. Like, she goes and fights a whole raid, and that shit is just so funny to me. This series, you gotta sit down and watch one of those 10-hour lore videos to understand what the fuck is going on. Which is a good and a bad thing, because hey, you got plenty of the show to watch, but also bad because if you forget a lot of stuff, then you're like, what the fuck do I remember? If this video somehow interests you in watching the show, don't watch it yet, because you gotta watch multiple season OVAs. Overall, this show was pretty decent, but it made me cry considering the potential it had. It could have been the most gory anime I've ever seen, but it just turned into a goofy, silly mess that was kind of fun to watch. The ending asked more questions than it answered, and it all sets up into, could you believe it or not, another sequel. If you do understand the season a lot more than I do, please let me know in the comments, because I am very confused watching the show. I know it's based on a game or a visual novel, so, you know, help me understand the animes, and If you don't watch the other seasons because it definitely hurts your experience, but maybe if you've seen the others and remember them, then you might enjoy it more than I did. Hopefully everybody did enjoy this video. If I do watch the second season, which I probably will, I will do a short on it, so look out for that when it eventually comes. Hope everybody enjoyed the video. Like, comment, subscribe, and yeah, I'm gonna try to make these videos longer with more information, hopefully. We'll see how it goes. Anyways, hope everybody